Hello again. Today we're talking about conditional statements. So in a conditional statement, there are two parts. There's the hypothesis and the conclusion. So here I've given some conditional statements. Now, the hypothesis is the part that starts with if, and the conclusion starts with then. But just so you know, sometimes the conclusion does not contain the word then. The word then is implied. And that's going to happen when the conclusion actually starts before the hypothesis. Here, I'll show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to underline the hypothesis, okay? The hypothesis also doesn't include the if. It's everything after the if, all right, in that part of the conditional statement. For instance, in number 1, if you lift weights, then you will get stronger. So if I underline my hypothesis is this part. You lift weights. That is the hypothesis. Now I'm going to circle the conclusion, okay? So underline the hypothesis and circle the conclusion. So it's everything after then. You will get stronger, all right? How about for this next one? If you close your eyes, then you can't see. Well, the hypothesis, we're going to underline that. You close your eyes. And then the conclusion is you can't see. Notice that I am not underlining or circling the if or the then. So let's look at this next one. You can't see if you close your eyes. Remember, what follows the word if is the hypothesis. So I'm going to underline the words you close your eyes. Notice this sentence and this sentence. They're the same sentence. They're pretty much the same thing. It's just in a different order. Notice that the hypothesis is the same. Now, if I circle the conclusion, you can't see, I also am circling the same thing. You can't see. All right, let's look at our next sentence here, our next conditional statement. It says, you will be hydrated if you drink water. Remember, the hypothesis is what follows the if. So we'll underline that. You drink water. And then the conclusion of this one would be, you will be hydrated. All right, let's look at the next one. If two line segments have the same measure, then they are congruent. Well, remember, we underline the hypothesis. That's what follows the if. So two line segments have the same measure. And then what follows the then is the conclusion, and we should circle that. It says they are congruent. All right. And now this last one, an angle is a straight angle if it is 180 degrees. So remember, we underline what follows the word if. So that's our hypothesis. It is 180 degrees. And we circle the conclusion. An angle is a straight angle. And that's our conclusion. And that is how you find a hypothesis and a conclusion in a conditional statement.